The movie begins in a beautiful area called Paradise, surrounded by the vast forests of California, stretching nearly 100 kilometers wide. It's a peaceful evening in November 2018, and we see a school bus driving through the woods. The driver, Kevin, is dropping off all the kids after school. Once he's done, he parks the bus in the Paradise City parking lot, where his boss, Ruby, reminds him to report back for his next shift at 6 a.m. the following morning. Kevin hesitantly asks if there are any extra shifts available, saying, "I could really use a little extra money to cover my household expenses." Ruby shakes her head and says, "Nothing's available right now, but I'll let you know if something opens up." Disappointed, Kevin quietly leaves. When he gets home, Kevin receives a call from his vet, who tells him that his dog's cancer has spread throughout its body. Heartbroken, Kevin rushes to his dog, gently picks it up in his arms, and brings it inside. His mother, Kat, tells him that his son, Shay, came home early from school because he wasn't feeling well. Kevin suspects Shay is faking it to skip school, so he angrily confronts him and says, "You're 15 now. You need to start being responsible." But Shay turns up the music and snaps back, saying, "You were careless too, just like me." Kevin pauses, realizing his son might be right, and breaks down in tears. Later that evening, Kevin takes his dog to the vet for the last time, sharing a few final moments before losing his best friend forever. Meanwhile, strong winds cause a power line to snap in the nearby mountains, sparking a massive wildfire that begins spreading rapidly. The next morning, Kevin returns to work. Ruby reminds him to get the bus serviced after his route since it's due for maintenance. Kevin drives off in the bus, unaware that a truck driver nearby spots the growing fire and alerts the control room. Moments later, the control room confirms the blaze through their cameras and immediately dispatches a team of firefighters to the scene. But the fire was still far away, and it was spreading even faster because of the electric wires. They took the dirt roads to reach the fire quickly, but soon had to turn back because the path ahead was blocked. Meanwhile, Kevin picked up all the kids along the way and dropped them off at a school deep inside the forest. That's when he got a call from his mother. She told him that S's condition had gotten worse and he was vomiting constantly. Just then, Ruby called Kevin back to the bus depot, saying the mechanic had finally arrived. At the same time, the fire chief, Ray, returned with his team and started figuring out another route to reach the fire. That's when they received another report about a new fire breaking out somewhere else. Ray immediately contacted one of his engineers working in that area, who reported that the flames were spreading rapidly. The engineer began evacuating people trapped there, sending those with cars toward the city and helping others escape in his truck. But the fire grew so intense that they were forced to jump into a river to save their lives. The chief quickly dispatched air tankers to that location, but due to the strong winds, even the aircraft couldn't contain the blaze. On his way back, Kevin stopped at a pharmacy to buy medicine for S. As soon as he stepped outside, he saw fire trucks racing past him. Panicking, he pleaded with Ruby, saying he needed to go home because of a family emergency. But Ruby scolded him, warning that if he didn't return on time, he'd lose both his next shift and his job. Reluctantly, Kevin agreed and continued on his route. As he drove farther, he saw the flames spreading toward the city. He immediately sent a voice note to his son, apologizing that he might be late and telling him to keep an eye on the news about the fire. Kevin instructed him to take his grandmother to the government safe house outside the city if things got worse. Seeing how serious the situation was, the school teachers started sending the children home with their parents. Still, 22 kids were left behind. Their parents were out of town. To get the children safely to the city school, they now needed a bus. Teacher Mary immediately calls Ruby for help. Meanwhile, Kevin gets a call from his ex-wife, Linda. She says, "I know things have been hard for you since your father passed away, but think about Shu too. Your life's falling apart, and he doesn't even want to stay with you anymore." Hearing that, Kevin's heart sinks. Feeling emotional, he records a voice note saying, "I'm coming home, son," and sends it to Shesh. Instead of heading to the depot, he turns the bus toward home. But then, over the radio, he hears Ruby's voice. She's calling all the drivers for help to rescue 22 children trapped at the school. Since everyone else is on different routes, they all refuse to go. Kevin hesitates for a moment, but finally decides to save those 22 kids instead of going home. He radios Ruby and tells her about his decision. Ruby breathes a sigh of relief and thanks him. Soon, Kevin reaches the school, meets teacher Mary, and quickly gets all the kids onto the bus. He tells Mary, "You'll have to come with us too. I can drop the kids off, but I can't take care of them. I need to get back to my family." So Mary informs the principal and joins Kevin on the bus. By the time they leave, the main road is already jammed with heavy traffic. Seeing the chaos and growing fires, Kevin changes his route. The frightened children start crying, but Kevin reassures Mary that he'll get everyone to safety. As they continue driving, Kevin and Mary talk. Mary shares that she also has a 15-year-old son she was supposed to pick up herself, but now her sister will get him. Seeing the kids scared, she starts calming them down, while Kevin focuses on driving. Meanwhile, the fire has now spread across Paradise City, even reaching the hospital. Ruby is forced to evacuate the depot with the others, and her radio connection with Kevin cuts off. Chief Ray and his team now begin planning how to evacuate everyone safely out of the city. Kevin's bus gets stuck in traffic once again. He starts panicking, realizing that Shaw and her grandmother won't receive the evacuation warning, because he never signed them up for it. His mom doesn't even know how to drive. Just then, a nearby house collapses into flames. Mary quickly pulls the kids away from the windows. In a panic, Kevin forces Mary into the driver's seat and runs outside to help clear the traffic. Once the road opens up a bit, Mary, even though she doesn't really know how to drive, somehow manages to move the bus forward. Kevin jumps back into the driver's seat, and the kids cheer up, excited that they're finally about to reach the city school, where their parents are supposed to pick them up. Mary jokes with Kevin, saying he'd make a great traffic cop. But as soon as they arrive, they see that the school is completely burned down. No one is there. They have no choice but to keep moving forward. Suddenly, one of the girls on the bus had a panic attack. Mary rushes to calm her down, while Kevin keeps driving through the dangerous roads. According to the authorities, nearly 300 people are still trapped in the fire. The fire chief urgently requests the power company to cut off the electricity to prevent fallen wires from spreading the flames, but the manual shutdown takes time. Meanwhile, a boy named Toby starts crying, terrified that he might never see his mother again. Kevin comforts him, promising, "I'll get you home safe." But suddenly, power lines and poles begin collapsing onto the road ahead. Kevin swerves the bus just in time, fighting to keep everyone safe as they move forward. Still, seeing the situation getting worse, he has to take the bus off the main road and onto a dirt path leading to another highway. But that road is blocked too. People are burning, chaos and looting are everywhere. Some armed looters even try to break into their bus. But Kevin speeds through a narrow lane and somehow escapes. Now the kids inside are struggling with the heat and thirst. They have to turn off the AC to keep the smoke from coming inside. Desperate, Mary goes to some abandoned houses nearby to look for water, and risking her life, manages to find a few bottles in a house van. Kevin carefully helps her back onto the bus and starts driving through the fire-filled roads again. Meanwhile, Ruby finally reaches the safe camp. She assures the worried parents there that Kevin is a responsible man and promises that he'll bring all the kids back safely. On the other side, Kevin drives the bus through a dangerous mountain road and stops at a spot where some locals warn him that the road ahead has been completely destroyed by fire. Kevin tells them there's fire behind them too and tries to stop them from going, but they say they'll take their chances and move ahead anyway. Kevin steps out of the bus and sees flames surrounding them from all sides. Both he and Mary realize they're trapped, and this is the only spot left untouched by fire. Kevin seals the AC vents with tape to prevent smoke from entering and starts telling stories to calm the kids down. Mary begins to lose hope, thinking the fire will reach them within an hour and burn them all. But Kevin consoles her, saying, "We shouldn't talk like that. Even at night outside looks as bright as a burning day now." Sitting quietly, Kevin opens up to Mary about his broken relationship with his daughter, saying he was never a good father to her, and starts crying. Mary comforts him, saying, "It's not too late. You still can." But just then, the fire gets closer to the bus. The kids panic and start screaming. Kevin and Mary rush outside with fire extinguishers, trying to put out the flames, but the fire has spread too much, and the extinguishers run out quickly. Both of them realize there's no way left now. They'll have to drive the bus straight through the fire, but the bus won't start. In a panic, Kevin pulls out the bus's air filters and somehow manages to start it. With one last hope, he drives the bus at full speed through the road surrounded by fire and smoke. The thick smoke and flames nearly blind him, and the children start screaming in fear. But Kevin doesn't give up. Even with his hands badly burned, he keeps driving the bus forward. Finally, he manages to get the bus and all the children safely out of the fire. Inside, the kids and Mary burst into tears of relief and start hugging each other. Exhausted, Kevin can't believe they actually survived. A little later, he drives the bus to the safety camp, where all the kids reunite with their parents. Everyone is overjoyed. Little Toby finally finds his mom, and Mary thanks Kevin, saying, "You did a great job." She then goes outside and praises the children's courage, calling Kevin the real hero who saved their lives. Everyone applauds for him. Then Mary reunites with her own family, while Kevin steps off the bus, looking at its burned, damaged condition. Ruby walks up to him, proudly smiling. Kevin smiles back and says, "Now it's really time for maintenance." A little searching later, Kevin also finds his mother. She was rescued safely by neighbors. She tells him that Shay's mom took him with her, so he's safe too, and that it's for the best. She comforts Kevin, saying everything will be all right. A week later, the fire is finally brought under control, but Paradise has been reduced to ruins. The forest and the town are nothing but ashes. Kevin returns to the burnt remains of his home, where he finds a scorched photo of himself and Shay. He keeps it in his pocket. Just then, Shay appears behind him and runs to hug his father tightly. Finally, the father and son are reunited, both emotional and relieved. From a distance, Shay's mother watches them together and smiles. A final text on screen reveals that this fire became the largest wildfire in California's history, destroying over 13,000 homes and taking 85 lives. Pacific Gas and Electric Company was found responsible and ordered to pay $13.5 billion in compensation to the victims. After the tragedy, Kevin chose a new path in life. He became a teacher and dedicated himself to helping children. Mary started organizing school camps in different countries. With this, the story ends here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. And subscribe to this channel for more stories like this.